Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It's Connor here. Hope you got your coffee, your tea, your wine, wherever you are in this beautiful place that we call Planet Earth. And we are back here with another Rumour Mill, another One Leeds video. And if you would like some bonus content, if you would like even more of my face, yes, even more of my face, please go check the Patreon link in the description below, everybody, because that is where you get bonus content on the One Leeds Fan Channel. But you've been asking, where have you been, Connor, the last couple of days? Well, I decided to have a couple of days off. Sometimes, everybody, football can get all-consuming. But as I said the other day, there has been some news. There has been some developments, of course, within the Leeds United sphere. And, it's addressing a situation that I think needed addressing. You know, it really is. So fair play, Leeds United. We're going to get onto that in just a little bit. But Minamino. Say that name 3 times if you can. In quick succession, of course. But listen, it's a bit mental this morning, isn't it? But yes, Minamino is available from Liverpool for 17 million. We know this, Connor. We know. I know you know. Okay, but what I'm gonna tell you, what I'm here to tell you is Wolverhampton Wanderers look like they are leading the race for Minamino at Liverpool, and apparently they're going to be putting in a 15 to 17 million pound bid very, very soon. Apparently they've been talking to Liverpool, having discussions over the prospect of signing Minamino. Now we know that even this season or last season, we've had Diogo Jota go from Wolverhampton to Liverpool, so they have probably developed a little bit of a relationship there when it comes to transfers. So, you know, I can imagine that is a destination that the player, you know, could be sort of definitely interested in, of course, staying in the Premier League as well. So, yeah, interesting there. Minamino, I don't ever really see coming to Leeds United. I see it as an option. I see it as a good option, but 17 million... it's just bothering me a little bit. And there was a lot of people in the comment section below, to be fair, telling me about his record and this, that and the other. But I'd like to see, you know, how many Premier League teams that's against. Listen, I know he had quite a decent cup record. I think goals per minutes was pretty decent from him as well. But I just don't know. I do see this Jesse Marsch system as a little bit more physical, a little bit more reliant on athleticism, a little bit more reliant on physicality when it comes to the 4-2-2 system. So, yeah, for me, no, but I would understand if it happened. I just don't know where he'd fit in, to be quite honest with you. Maybe attacking midfield, potentially. But yeah, in my head, I've just got maybe a little bit more ambition than what he can bring. I don't know if he'd be able to sustain that second ball energy that Brendan Aronson would do in that advanced 8 role. But we'll have to wait and see. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it looks like Minamino could be on his way to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Marc Roca, it looks like, according to multiple sources, this is signed, sealed, delivered, and yours. Yes, Marc Roca, it looks like he's going to be a Leeds United player. It looks like Leeds United have made their 3rd acquisition of the summer transfer window. Keep going, Leeds United. We do not want you to stop. Please, we need more players. But listen, I like it. I told you guys last time I like it as a signing. I think Marc Roca, we have some deficiencies, mainly with his athleticism, which, as I said to you guys last time, encompasses fatigue, it encompasses, you know, a physical prowess, it encompasses agility. There's loads of things which, you know, are sort of branched off what athleticism means, really. But overall, you need that in the Premier League. It's a fundamental, and he's not managed to really play consistently. Well, he hasn't consistently played in the Bundesliga at all, so I can understand why Leeds fans are a little bit nervy about it. But as well, he's very good on the ball, extremely good on the ball, extremely good when it comes to pressuring the opponent, which is kind of what we want. I've said to you in the last video, guys, that in the Bielsa system, he'd have been absolutely perfect. And allegedly, Marcelo was looking at him, and he was one of the options there. I don't know whether or not Victor had gone to him and said, look at Marc Roca, yes or no. I mean, Bielsa would have been very aware of him anyway, obviously with him playing in the Spanish league, and Bielsa been in charge of Atletico Bilbao in the past. So he'll have been well aware of him on his database as well. So yeah, in that Bielsa system, he'd have been absolutely unbelievable. But obviously we didn't play a double pivot, so it was always going to be Calvin Phillips. So now it's developed a little bit. It's going to be a double pivot. I really like Marc Roca and Calvin Phillips. I said to you guys last time, it's a balance. It's a really nice balance. It's a left footer. It's a right footer. It's someone who's very technical on the ball. It's another person who's technical on the ball. You know, it's good for Leeds United. It's a nice balance in the midfield. We're going to get on to Calvin Phillips in a little bit, but You know, there's so many players at Bayern Munich who haven't got minutes. You know, Renato, Tolisso, Michael Cuisance. There's so many. They buy so many central midfielders. There's obviously Josh Kimmich there. There's Leon Goretzka. There is so much Marcel Sabitzer. There is so many players who you know play within that central region. So it's always going to be difficult for Marc Roca, but he hasn't, unfortunately, been able to break that mold. So I think he's well within his rights to move. And it was said yesterday, everybody, that we could get him for £7.7 million, but it doesn't look like that's going to be done. It looks like Marca are reporting that it is going to be a £13 million transfer, which, yeah, it's another bit of business which I like. It's another cheap bit of business that I like when you compare it to what players go for nowadays. But it just shows when everyone, you know, was talking about having to go out there and having to spend £20 million on a player. You know, even Marcelo, you know, essentially saying, I might be paraphrasing here, but if you need to get a better player than Matthias Klick, you need to spend 20 million or whatever it was. So that, I mean, that's just not true. It's not true in the market. You can get gems. You know, we've proven that with Christensen. We've proven that with Marc Roca. If those two are going to be decent signings. But, you know, what I'm saying is you don't have to spend 20 million to get an upgrade on Matthias Klick, Adam Forshaw, Tyler Roberts. It's just not how football works. You can definitely, especially if you're a shrewd operator in the market, if you're shrewd within recruitment, which Victor Orta I'm still a little bit umming and ahhing with, you would hope that we can get done. Okay, so next on the chat, Rafinha. Now, listen, I went a bit heavy on Rafinha a couple of days ago. I said there's absolutely no chance that Arsenal are going to get him. And I do thoroughly believe that. But there is a little bit of a caveat to what I was saying. Now, I've always said Real Madrid, I think, are going to be the ones that are going to ultimately get Rafinha. Barcelona are out the race. You know, they're absolutely out the race. They're now talking about Lewandowski. They're about 500 million euros in debt. I mean, I've been reading reports that there is potential that the club ceases to exist. So, yeah, there's a lot of problems there. They owe a lot back to banks, you know. So it's, I mean, they've essentially not been paying loans back of hundreds of millions of pounds. So, yeah, they're in trouble, basically. So I don't see Rafinha going there. I don't see it as a smart move for him either. You know, if they're in such financial peril, why on earth would he do that? So it leaves options, you know, and if Real Madrid are not going to come in, then an Arsenal could be Rafinha's only move. It really could, because Leeds are not going to budge on the valuation. So that's something we've got to take into consideration. Now, a couple of days ago, I did think that maybe Real would stump up that valuation. They would stump up that price tag, but I'm unsure now. I really am unsure on if they are going to do that, if they are going to put up that price. So you might get a Premier League club who comes and says, look, we are willing to put the money down. Here's 60 million, here's 65 million. Take it or leave it. And then Leeds are in a bit of a problem scenario there, because they know the player wants to go abroad, they know the player wants to go La Liga, but Rafinha might not have any other options. He might turn around and say, I want to stay at Leeds for another year. That is a probability as well. You know, wait for another year, see where the land lies, see what happens. But if there is an offer there from Arsenal, would he go down there? I mean, there's an option that his World Cup, there's a scenario that his World Cup chances will be affected. You know, is he going to be playing week in, week out when you've got Martinelli, when you've got Bukayo Saka? We know Saka can play on the other side, but he's probably more effective on the right-hand side. Rafinha plays on the right-hand side. He can play on the left. We know he can play on the left. But Rafinha's way, way, way more effective on the right. We've seen that with Leeds United. When he's been on the left, I've not been sure. I think on the right he's very good. Very similar traits to Bukayo Saka in terms of, you know, beating a man and checking the ball back and trying to hit it with his, you know, with his stronger foot. So, yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on there. But maybe it is a little bit more likely than initially thought, because what's going to be on the table for him when it comes to money? You know, what's going to be on the table when it comes to Leeds United, you know? And when I say money, I mean, what is the package for Leeds going to be? If they come and say 60, 65 million, here you go, we can offer that money. Leeds aren't going to reject that. Leeds aren't going to reject that if the player wants to move on. But it's Rafinha. He wants to move abroad. He wants to be starting week in, week out. Are all these things going to happen at Arsenal? And he wants to play in the Champions League. So, yeah, definitely there's a little bit more balance from me maybe, but we'll have to wait and see. Man City are widely expected, excuse me, to sign Calvin Phillips for £60 million. Few thoughts going through my head with this one. Injury record, age-wise, performances since Marsh has come in. I get it. Would I sell him for 60 million? 100%. It's my opinion. You guys will disagree in the comment section below. I know you will. I think Leeds United can find a more than competent replacement on the continent for 60 million quid. I've done a transfer target video for the Red Bull network and for championship players as well on my Patreon account if you guys want to check it out, breaking down the transfer fees, breaking down the wages, what Leeds could do here and there. And there's a player called Mohamed Kamara, who I'm not going to go into on a player profile here, but he's playing at Salzburg. It would be another Salzburg signing, but he's excellent. He's absolutely excellent. Distribution, aggression, pressing. He's absolutely brilliant. And there is no way on planet Earth he would cost 60 million. So you get a player like for like with Calvin. He's younger. There's more potential there. Slot next to Mark Rocker. We don't know if that would work, obviously, but we'll have to wait and see. That is the project. But there is also a niggle in me that says if Rafinha and Calvin were to go, that transition into next season would be huge. Doesn't matter if a Mo Kamara comes in. That transition would be huge. A player that knows the club, a player who's getting used to the system, who knows the players' patterns of play as well, who just knows the players' attributes and, all this sort of stuff. Player in the changing room as well, So, Calvin and Rafinha going would be a big, big blow. And you could literally go on the slant of, that would be regression, no matter who we bring in before the season starts. And I can understand that. And I do feel that a little bit. So I don't know where I'm at with it, to be honest with you, because if you were to just isolate that transfer fee, excuse me, what's something in my eye? If you were to just isolate that transfer fee and say to me, Connor, would you take 60 million for Calvin Phillips? Yes, I would, 100%. He's 26 years of age. He's consistently injured throughout seasons. And I don't think he's going to get better. I don't think he's going to improve under Jesse Marsh. So I think there's more, as I've just said, listen to what I'm saying as well, because people in the comment section below just don't listen. It's Connor wants rid of him, blah, 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 what are you talking about? Listen to this. There is more than competent replacements out there for Calvin Phillips in a Jesse Marsh system. Listen to that bit, please, if you're going to take anything away. 60 million quid as well, that could be really nicely invested in the squad. But then, yeah, it's the Calvin and Rafinha. It's two big blows, but then it forces recruitment to go out and get it right, which I think we're all a little bit worried about. If we were a Brighton or a Brentford in terms of recruitment, for the amount of money we spend and the success rate with recruitment at those two clubs in particular as examples, we'd be feeling great. If Calvin was to go, let's say, and he played for Brighton for all these years and we were all Brighton fans and he was to go, we'd all turn around and say, okay, because we know we're going to bring in a good replacement. We know recruitment is very good. With Victor Orta, it's very, very much hit and miss. A lot of the time, it's more hit than miss. So please, everybody, it's a really detailed one this morning. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? Do you think we should be keeping Calvin Phillips at all costs? Do you think that we should be going in for Minamino? Do you think Mark Roca should be brought in? Is he going to be Calvin's replacement? You would hope not. Phil Hay has said that it's going to be another if Calvin goes, and that is essential. They have to go for another one. And I will say, another one is not Tyler Adams. It is not Tyler Adams. I'm praying that is not who they go for. Listen, I think Tyler Adams is a decent player. There is quotes that we would be paying 40 million for this guy. There's no way. He's nowhere near worth 40 million. I'm not dressing down his attributes, but for me, he's a ball winner. He's decent with lateral passes like Adam Forshaw is, but I don't see a massive upgrade in Adam Forshaw, to be honest with you. Age, maybe, he is, but Mohamed Kamara is someone who is a massive upgrade on Adam Forshaw. Tyler Adams is a ball winner, but he's not a great progressor through the transitions. He's not a ball carrier. He's not someone with excellent distribution at all. He's a ball winner. So I'm really hoping we don't go on that slant of, the American Red Bull network again, like we did with Brendan Harrison, which is fine. But I don't just want us to do that and go down that route of players who... The worry is he's done really well for Marsh before. Marsh really likes him. That's the worry. So we'll have to wait and see, everybody. As I said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's a detailed one this morning, but Leeds have to go and get a left back now, have to go get a striker, have to go get an experienced goalkeeper, have to, for me, get another midfielder. Let me know what you think, everybody. I'll see you in a bit.